Luke chapter 2. And it came to be in those Yomim days that a decree went out from Kaiser Augusta for all the world to be registered. This took place as a first registration while Quirinius was governing Syria, and all were going to be registered, each one to his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the house of Nazareth, to Yehudah, to the city of Daud, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of Daud, to be registered with Miriam, who was engaged to him, being pregnant. And it came to be that while they were there, the days were concluded for her to give birth. And she gave birth to her firstborn son, and wrapped him up, and laid him down in a food hamper, a basket, because there was no room for them in a lodging place. And in the same country there were shepherds living out in their fields, keeping watch over their flock by night. And look, a messenger of Yahuah stood before them, and the esteem of Yahuah shone around them, and they were greatly afraid. And the messenger said to them, "Do not fear, for look, I bring you a besorah of great joy, which shall be to all people, because there was born to you today in the city of Daud a deliverer, who is Mashiach, the Master. And this is the sign to you. You shall find a baby wrapped up, lying in a food hamper." And suddenly there was with a messenger a throng of the heavenly host, praising Elohim and saying, "Esteem to Elohim in the highest, and on earth peace among men with whom he is pleased." And it came to be, when the messengers had gone away from them into the heaven, that the shepherds said to each other, "Indeed, let us go to Bethlehem and see this matter that has taken place, which the Master has made known to us." And they came in haste and found Miriam and Joseph and the baby lying in a food hamper. And having seen, they made known the matter which was spoken to them concerning the child. And all those who heard marveled at what the shepherds said to them. But Miriam kept all these matters, considering them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, boasting and praising Elohim for all they had heard and seen, as it was spoken to them. And when 8 days were completed for him to be circumcised, his name was called Yahusha, the name given by the messenger before he was conceived in the womb. And when the days of her cleansing according to the Torah of Moshe was completed, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to Yahuah, as it had been written in the Torah of Yahuah. Every male who opens the womb shall be called set apart to Yahuah, and to give an offering according to what is said in the Torah of Yahuah, a pair of turtle doves and 2 young pigeons. And see, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Shimon, and this man was righteous and dedicated, looking for the comforting of Yeshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh was upon him. And it had been revealed to him by the Ruach HaKodesh that he would not see death before he sees the Mashiach of Yahuah. And he came to the Ruach into the Kodesh place. And as the parents brought in the child Yahusha to do for him according to the usual practice of the Torah, then he took him up in his arms and blessed Elohim and said, "Now let your servant go in peace, Master, according to your word. For my eyes have seen your deliverance, which you have prepared before the face of all the peoples, a light of revelation for the nations, and the esteem of your people Yeshua." And Joseph and his mother were marveling at what was said about him. And Shimon blessed them and said to Miriam his mother, "See, this one is set for a fall and rising of many in Yeshua, and for a sign spoken against, and a sword shall pierce through your own being also, so as to reveal the thoughts of many hearts. And there was Cana, a prophetess, a daughter of Penuel, of the tribe of Asher. She was advanced in years, and had lived with a husband 7 years from her maidenhood. And she was a widow of about 84 years, who did not leave the set-apart place, but she served Elohim with fastings and prayers night and day. And she, coming in at that moment, gave thanks to Yahuah, and spoke of him to all who were waiting for redemption in Jerusalem. And when they had accomplished all according to the Torah of Yahuah, they returned to Galil, to their city, Nazareth. And the child grew and became strong in Ruach, being filled with wisdom, and the favor of Elohim was upon him. And his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem according to the practice of the festival. When they had accomplished the days, as they returned, the child Yahusha stayed behind in Jerusalem, and his parents did not know it. But thinking he was in the company, they went a day's journey, and were seeking him among the relatives and friends. And not having found him, they returned to Jerusalem, seeking him. And it came to be, after 3 days, they found him in the set-apart place, sitting in the midst of the teachers, both listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And having seen him, they were amazed. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? See, your father," figuratively, "and I have been anxiously seeking you." And he said to them, "Why were you seeking me? Did you not know that I had to be in the things of my Father?" But they did not understand the word which he spoke to them. And he went down with them and came to Nazareth, and was subject to them. But his mother kept all these matters in her heart. And Yahusha increased in wisdom and stature, and in favor with Elohim and men.